Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Tim Hart, branch manager of VanDyk Mortgage in Fort Myers. Welcome to an episode of the HartBeat for Realtors. Today, got a special guest, right? We got Wayne Salmans with Hero Nation Coaching. Wayne, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, you got it. I'm pumped you're here, man. I know you know Mosley and all those guys, so happy to have you.
Hey, man, I'm glad to be here. I don't admit that I know him very often, though, so let's keep that between you and me.
Stole my line, man. I was about to say that.
Yeah.
No one wants to claim him.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
kidding, Mosley. Just kidding, buddy.
I love that guy.
But Wayne, before we get into this, this show is for realtors. And so that's what we got a few topics we're going to discuss. One main one, then a couple other ones a little later. But before we get into the main topic, though, Wayne, why don't you let them know, who you are and what you do?
Yeah. So, now I coach mostly realtors, right? Business owners, everybody from realtors to doctors, but, about 60% realtors, 20% loan officers, and the rest is a mix. So that's what I do. I help them how to get where they want to go. My goal is to help them get where they want to go faster with less bruises. So that's my intention, help them do that. And I was in real estate for a long time. I was the top producer in real estate. I was one of the 30 under 30 for Realtor magazine years ago. And then got out of real estate, went into coaching for Pkwy for many years. So coached their full program and ended up actually coaching their coaches. So it's kind of cool to be one of the coaches, coaching the top coaches for the top coaching company in the world. So that was a pretty cool experience. So coached over 5,000 agents in the last decade. So it's kind of
Holy cow.
Think about it. Yeah, it's a whole lot.
Yeah, you've seen a lot then, I'm sure, man. So you're the perfect guy to have on. It's great.
Well, I'm glad to be here, man.
Yeah. Let's get into this topic then. Let's get jamming. I love this because in the mortgage business we face this as well, guys. What we're gonna be talking about, Wayne's gonna talk about how to stay in momentum, and Wayne, from my point of view with this, and you're gonna jam on it. I face it just like you guys do. It's the roller coasters, right? The peaks and valleys, oh my God, I need business. So I bust my butt for 3 months straight. And then I got all this business coming in. Then I work on that and I don't prospect anymore. Right. And then I'm back down to zero again. And that whole peaks and valleys. And it's a battle and we all face it. So I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, I'm excited to jump into this. And you're so right. Like, this is one of those things where people, they do, it's like the real estate roller coaster, whether you're in real estate or mortgage or whatever, like you're on this thing up and down. And I mean, I rode it for a long time. And most people, they go up and down, let's say 5-6 times a year. Like, that's exhausting. No wonder people are like, I want to get out of this business. I don't know what I'm doing. And I'll tell you what, I rode that roller coaster for a long time in my business. And it's exhausting. So it's like, one of the questions you asked is like, how do you stay in momentum? And I think that there's multiple different things, but I kind of boiled it down to like the top several that I think will make an impact. That made an impact on me. So if you want, we'll kind of roll through some of those.
Yeah, go do it.
All right, cool. All right, so here's the first one, and everybody gets this, but here's what I want to say. If you're watching this or listening to this, some of the stuff that I'm going to throw you is going to be a reminder, and I hope you're okay with that, because I found in my life more often than not, I needed to be reminded more than I needed to learn something new. Like, I need to keep learning, but a lot of times I need to be reminded of stuff. So the first thing that you got to do to keep you in momentum, in my impression, is get really, really clear on where you're headed, right? What are you after? But you got to be able to boil that down to what are your musts for each day. So I see so many people, they got these big old to-do lists, and it's exhausting, right? And the problem with the to-do list is like everything looks equal. You know what I mean? Whether it's like mail a letter or like go get a loan, right? Everything looks equal. So the reality is you got to be able to boil it down to what are my 3 musts every single day, that if I do those 3 things, I'll meet my week goal, I'll meet my quarterly goal, and ultimately I'll be on track to get my year goal. So one of the big things I do with my clients is help them figure out what are their lead funnels going to be, and then boil that down to what are the 3 most important things you actually need to do every day. And after you've done those 3, can you give yourself kind of a high five and know that, like, I did the most important stuff. And I think that the problem is people feel like there's just more to do. And most high achievers, right? And high achievers are probably the only people that are going to watch this, right? They're the ones that actually want to impact their life. And the problem is their only strategy is just more, which is freaking exhausting. So my goal is to help them get clear on what are their 3 or 4 musts every single day, and how do they get those done, usually in the morning, so they can give themselves a high five and then go on to do everything else. So the first thing is getting really clear on where you want to go, and then what the 3 actions are every single day you need to do in order to get you there. Does that land?
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. I call them the non-negotiables, and
right.
Yes, it's the same exact thing. I know exactly what you're talking about. And dude, you're exactly right, Wayne, with the reminders that we need, because most of us truly, we know what we need to do. And it's just implementing that and being disciplined enough to do it and not let email and chats and phone calls and texts or whatever sidetrack.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you.
And I think that what keeps high achievers in momentum is knowing that they're doing the right things that are going to get them where they want to go, right? When they're just doing random activities, and if they don't know that it's in alignment with where they're going, that takes our momentum away, So second thing, I think the second thing that steals our momentum, and this is like, I think you would agree, this is like a freaking epidemic in our culture right now. And it's our self-talk. And what I mean by that is we're comparing ourselves to others. And when you compare your stuff to somebody else, that's like nothing steals your joy or your momentum faster than when you're comparing yourself to other people. Right? Does that make sense? Like
you said self-talk, right?
Yeah, or self-talk. What do most people do first thing in the morning, right? Most people grab this thing first thing in the morning. They open Instagram or Facebook, whatever it is, and they start comparing their real life to somebody else's highlight reel. Right? And according to this, all of my friends are on vacation at all times, right? And they all have perfect marriages. They all have the greatest businesses of all time. Like their lives are perfect. So most people wake up in the morning and all they do, they start comparing their real life to somebody else's highlight reel. And I'll tell you what, when you're comparing yourself against other people all day long, it's stealing your joy and it's stealing your momentum. Like it's one of the biggest things that I see that are crippling people without them even knowing it. So what I challenge everyone to do is stop comparing yourself to everybody else. And you got to realize this. You got to realize that, it's like we're comparing our game where we're at in our game to where somebody else is at in their game. But when you step back from it, you realize we're not even playing the same game. It's like they're playing Monopoly and I'm playing chess, and I'm trying to compare the two. Like we didn't start at the same place. We're not going to the same place. It's not even the same game, right? So what I challenge you to consider is to use other people as inspiration and not comparison. Right. So if I see somebody that's doing, 1,000 transactions a year, right, maybe I can use that as inspiration. I can learn some of the great stuff they're doing, but it's kind of BS to compare my place where I'm at in the game to where they're at in their game, because I don't know their whole game, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Does that land?
Oh, yeah. And that's why we call it fake book.
Yes.
I 100% agree. I love you brought that up. I was just talking to an agent, 2 of them, Jayla Gates and Frank Glab. 2 different times I was talking about this, and I was telling them how one day we just need to do a hashtag. We're going to call it like Keep It Real Day, and I'm going to have all of us post like the horrible transaction of that month.
Right.
Because all you ever see on Facebook or social is, I closed in 10 days, and they love me, and blah, blah, blah. And you don't hear about the one that like went to hell and you had to work all night on it, all that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, it's killing us. You know what I mean? Yeah. And literally, it's literally killing us, right? I dealt with someone, I talked to someone the other day, and she was talking about how her brother committed suicide a couple years ago. And she said he literally killed himself because he couldn't stop comparing himself to everybody else. He felt like such a loser because all he was doing is comparing himself to other people, and he took his own life. Like this is the real stuff, right? It's easy for us to kind of talk about it, but it's the real stuff. You've got to stop comparing yourself to everybody else. And who I compare myself to is who I was last year, right? Like, am I better than I was last year? Am I getting better than I was last month? Am I a little bit better today than I was yesterday? Like, I'm comparing myself to who I used to be. And my goal is, right, is to be a better version of myself tomorrow, to be a little bit better a year from now, right? That's who I'm comparing myself with. And use those people as inspiration, not comparison, because it's killing us.
I love that. Use it as inspiration. I use it a lot of times, especially within VanDyk, as competition for me. Like just to bring out the competitive, not jealous or anything, but just a competition of like, that's where I want to get to.
Yeah.
But, I got to get busy to catch that dude right there.
Right.
Justin Kelly, Dane Marquez, Sean Miller, talking to you, coming for you.
Coming for you.
All right. I love it. What's the next one?
Okay. Here's number 3 that's stealing your momentum. Not taking care of yourself. And I mean, not taking care of you. And it was interesting. I was at I got invited to go speak actually to the 30 under 30 Realtor magazine alumni this last year. They did a reunion. I got to go speak at that. And what's interesting is so much of the conversation we had at that mastermind was about like self-care. And I know some people are going to go, whatever, that's BS. Like I'm a high achiever. I can run at 200 miles an hour forever. You can't. Like it's burning you out. So I hear some people talk about burnout, or they talk about like I'm overwhelmed, whatever it is. So many people, they're not taking care of themselves, and they haven't figured out, right? Let me say it this way. I see so many high achievers that run at 200 miles an hour and then they crash and burn, and then 200 miles an hour again and then crash and burn. 200, right? They go, then they hit a wall, they get sick, right? All this stuff happens. You got to figure out what is your sustainable rhythm, right, to allow you to stay in momentum. What is a sustainable lifestyle? Working 24/7, 7 days a week is probably not sustainable over the long run, and you're probably going to crash. So instead of running 200 miles an hour, maybe you can run at 150 consistently. So what is that? So asking yourself seriously, am I sleeping? Right? What's the fuel? What am I eating? What's the fuel I'm putting in my body? Am I drinking water? Right? Or am I just drinking water that's poured over coffee beans? Like I should probably, what am I drinking? And then like, am I moving my body? Right? Am I having sex? Like whatever it is, right? Like, let's get real. You got to take care of you. You got to enjoy this journey. And if you're not taking care of you, it's not going to work out. And also nobody's going to want to follow you if all they see is someone that never takes care of themselves. Right? So are you taking care of your body? And what I've realized is, as high achievers, we need some isolation time. We need some time every once in a while where we just shut up and take a breath, right? We need some time to pour back into ourselves. And you look at the highest achievers in most fields, they make time to have dinner with their family. They make time to go get a massage. They make time to go for a walk. So are you taking care of yourself? And if you're not, it's gonna show up in the amount of money you make at the end of the year.
Love it. I would imagine self-care talk, you probably would include the mind in that as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, like you were saying, right? We were talking earlier about, Automobile University, right? What are you listening to on the way to work? What are you putting into? And that leads to the next point that I had actually, which was you need to set up some bumpers in your life if you want to stay in momentum. And the way I think about this, right? I got little kids. We go bowling every once in a while. And if you ever take a kid bowling, you can put up those little bumpers on the side of the lane. And so the question is, do you put the bumpers up before you throw the ball or after it? And right, every parent knows, like, you put the bumpers up before and then you throw the ball. And same thing with high achievers. You got to put up some bumpers in your life, because we don't just one day decide to eat crappy, not read again, not do our affirmations, all this kind of stuff. We drift away. And then all of a sudden we're in the gutter. So I think you got to put some bumpers in your life to keep you in the lane so you don't drift too far and crash and burn. So some of those bumpers are like, what's your morning routine? Right? Are you listening to something positive on the way to work? So every morning I listen to, when I work out, I listen to my affirmations. I watch something motivational for a couple minutes every morning, right? I review my goals every single morning. So there's 4 or 5 things I do every single morning that basically get me in peak state and keep me from drifting too far away, right? It's not 38 things. It's a handful of things, right? That don't take all that long, but those are like the bumpers in my life to keep me from drifting too far away. So I think that's huge. And to have those setups, you're not just relying on willpower all the time.
Mm-hmm. I like it. And you mentioned the affirmations, Wayne. And so like, I try to stay in the morning, and I hope when people are listening to this, they understand, like, I do mortgages, and this is, we're kind of in the same business, and the same mindset and sales and everything else. And man, when I don't do my morning routine, which is affirmations and some prayer and a few other things I do, my day sucks. Like, yes. I feel it. I may go like, it may be 1 o'clock or so. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then it'll click. Oh, my lazy butt didn't get out of bed on time and do what I need to do to set my mind right, to set the day right.
Yeah. One of the best things I ever did is actually I started using, here it is. I started using this, it's called the Best Self Journal. And what I love about this journal is every day it asks me to do 3 things in the morning, right? I write down 3 things I'm grateful for. I write down what are my 90-day goals. I kind of rewrite them every morning, my 3 big goals. And then I write down what are my 3 musts for the day, right? It's like you said, just gets me in the right mindset.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I write down like, what did I learn? What are my wins? And what am I grateful for? And
Love it.
simple as that sounds, like when I don't do that for a couple of days, I start feeling it.
Yep.
Right? Like it starts to show up. So yeah.
I'm with you.
So what are the bumpers you need? So that would be like, what are the bumpers you need in your life to keep you in the lane? And what do you need to do every morning to get you into peak state instead of hoping it just shows up?
Love it. Love it. You killed it there, man. That was great.
I think that's so freaking powerful. And then, I think if I was going to give you, 2 more on this topic.
2 more. All right. Let's roll.
Are you ready? Are you ready for this?
Like the bonus round.
Yeah. I don't even know what number we're at. So let me give you 2 more. Here's another big one. Most people their dreams are not getting taken away from them from big crappy decisions. Their dreams are getting taken away from them, and they're losing their momentum from all the distractions. Like distractions are killing more goals than anything else, I believe. And they're killing your momentum. And we're in a world where we're bombarded with distractions all day long, right? Like even right now, how many times you wanted to grab your phone and just see what's up or check your email, right? Like it's been like 10 minutes or whatever it is. And like, it's like, where's my phone, right? Distractions are killing us. So if you want to stay in momentum, you've got to figure out, how do I get rid of some of the distractions in my life that I'm allowing in, right? It's not even other people all the time. It's like, what distractions am I using to self-sabotage? Whether it's, Facebook notifications, having my email up, having dings on my phone. I mean, when your phone dings, it's like, holy crap, where's my phone, right? Like we freak out, right? It's like, oh, it's the weather update. Cool. We're not going to drought, right? Who cares, right? You got to get rid of the distractions and ask yourself, what are the needless distractions that are going off all the time that are killing my productivity, that are killing my momentum? And if you look at an hour, the more you cut up that hour, the less productive you're going to be, the less momentum you're going to have. So if in that hour you're reviewing an offer, you're checking your phone, you're looking at an offer, you're checking your phone, right? If you're cutting it up, and you cut that hour up into 38 different little pieces, I'll tell you what, it's going to crush your momentum.
Yep. Agreed.
Getting rid of the self-sabotaging distractions and getting back to focus.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Here's the last one. I think this is probably the biggest one of all of them. And I literally wrote an entire book on this topic, which is, what's your recovery time? How fast are you getting back up? And here's what I've realized. Like, stuff's going to happen to all of us. Right? Over the rest of this year, some stuff's going to happen. You're going to have deals fall apart. You're going to get a flat tire, right? There's going to be some issues in your life. You're going to have that week where, right, multiple deals fall apart. But what's your recovery time? How fast do you get back up? And I believe that most high achievers, the key is they're able to recover really quickly. And they're able to recover quickly because they actually have a plan to recover. They're not just trying to willpower through it. So when I look at this, I ask people, what's your plan to get back up? And most people don't have one. Most people's like, just work harder or just get over it. But they don't actually have a process to get back up. So I literally wrote an entire book, right? The Art of Getting Back Up, that talks about this.
Oh, all right.
On, I don't know what page it is, somewhere in here. There's literally a list of about 9 questions that you need to ask yourself to get back up. And what I would do is, and I'll send you a link so everybody can get it for free if they want. But to be able to go and ask themselves those 9 questions so that you can get back up quickly. Because I look at it, I mean, I've been watching a lot of hockey lately, right?
I've seen it on Facebook. I can tell.
Yeah. I grew up in Canada, so that explains some of the damage. No, but like, if you had the greatest hockey player in the world, but for after every 1 minute shift, it took them 25 minutes to recover and be able to go back out on the ice. I don't care how good they are in that minute, they wouldn't make the team. Right? Because their recovery time is just way too long. So you have to ask yourself, what's your recovery time when you have deals fall apart, when bad stuff happens, whatever. Do you have a plan to get back up quickly, and how do you do that? So that's that. I mean, I'm pretty passionate about that, and I think it's like the best analogy on that is looking at, if you ever got locked out of your house. So you locked your keys to your house, whatever it is. The kids are yelling in the car. You got to call a locksmith. You got to go through all this drama, right? It takes you 2 hours. You pay $500, whatever it is, right, to get in your house. What do you do after that event, right? What you immediately, probably that night, you go to Home Depot. You get a second key made. You have a hide key. You give one to the neighbor, whatever it is. you do something because you go, I'm never going to let that happen again. I'm never going to be locked out of my house for 2 hours and have to go through all this drama. So you have a plan to get back in the house quickly, right? Mm-hmm. We do all this kind of stuff in our physical world, like having a spare tire, having a first aid kit in the house, whatever it is. We do all stuff in our physical world. We don't do stuff in our mental world very often, right? So we have these locked out of our mind or face down moments, and you got to build mental plans just like you would in your physical world to get back up. Does that make sense?
Yep, I got you.
So yeah, I think that's it. So if we were going to go through those, it's like get clarity on what you need to do every single day that leads to your goals. Mm-hmm. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Use them as inspiration, not comparison. Where do you need to start taking care of yourself? Do you need to take time off? Do you need to sleep better? Do you need to eat better? What is, you need to go for a walk? The next one is get some bumpers in your life. And then you got to get rid of some distractions, and you got to be able to recover fast. And you work on those 6 things, and those are the things that keep you in momentum and allow you to have a pretty phenomenal year.
Awesome, man. Awesome. You did great. And don't forget to send that book link over to me as well.
Yeah, I will. Absolutely. Yeah.
We'll throw that in the body of the post. So, hey, Wayne, I appreciate you, man, on this one. And, we're going to be doing 2 more coming up. But how can people get in touch with you if they want to learn more about you or what you guys do at Hero Nation?
Best way is either go on Facebook and look up Wayne Salmans and follow me on there, or go to theheronation.com and check us out there. Or we just started an incredible private page, which is Real Talk for Real Estate Pros on Facebook. So if you want to go on Facebook, Real Talk for Real Estate Pros, it's for high-level, high-minded conversations. We don't let just anybody in there. It's all the brilliance without the BS of all the other groups out there. It's phenomenal. So if somebody wants to go request to join that, we'll filter through that, and it's a pretty powerful place to be. So
Cool. Well, Wayne, thanks again for being with us. You guys out there, if I can ever help you out, give me a call. My phone number is 239-437-4278, website. Let's connect on all the socials, all that fun stuff. If you're listening to the podcast, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. You may have an agent in your office that needs to hear what Wayne said, or maybe you needed to hear it. So either way, hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to leave a comment. Let us know what you thought. So Wayne, man, thanks again for being with us, buddy.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for doing this for the real estate industry, brother.
Oh, man, my pleasure, buddy. Take care.